can hang on.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Here's the action. James Stewart, this is as close as he and Chad Reed have been in months. They haven't raced each other in a long, long time. They have been anticipating this battle, as have we. It's about to get good, Jim.
And these guys right now, they're feeling out each other, as well as the new motorcycles right now. And this is great because they can go back to the technicians after this race and say, look, I was really pushing hard. I started to lose the front end. They can talk to the tire technicians, the suspension technicians, and the motor guys, because maybe these bikes, they're hitting a little bit hard and they're getting a lot of wheel spin, but James Stewart's hot on his tail as they come over that finish line jump. We'll see what he's going to try to do on that triple. Remember, if Chad's in his way, he can't triple that section. He's got a little bit of room, and he was able to triple. He might be going to the inside here. He's still being patient. Remember, we're just past the halfway point here, and he's just showing Chad a little wheel here, in and out. In the whoops, he's trying to make that left-hand side of the whoops work for him. The Yamaha seems to be dancing a little bit more if he goes to that outside where Chad Reed is.
But we're seeing a few small mistakes out of Reed, and that's what Stewart wants to do. Maybe push Reed into a mistake. Maybe get him outside the main racing line. Then Stewart can kind of squirt by him. You don't want to end up in a bar-to-bar situation because Reed will fight you for it. That's one of the most difficult sections. A step on, step on, step on. You got to hop over 3 tabletop jumps. The left-hander, watch Stewart rocket out of this corner and try to triple up.
The lap previous, he was right on the rear wheel and he could not do that, so he laid back a little bit just so he could get a chance to get right on the rear wheel as they come out of the mechanics. You can see the mechanics saying, Chad, you got to put it to it because that number 7 Yamaha is right behind you right now.
And Stewart did a great job going a little bit further outside that sweeper, went straight into the whoops. This time he didn't lose the time to Reed in that section, so now he's perched right there on the rear wheels of the Australian Chad Reed. Stewart out of Florida shows another wheel. Now it looks like Stewart wants to get it on. He's ready to force the issue.
And maybe fatigue's starting to set in for Chad Reed. I mean, not because he's getting tired. You got to remember, he was at the Nations in England. He flew to Australia, raced last weekend in Australia. He won there, flies all the way back here to Las Vegas. He may be starting to run out of gas.
Well, just mentally, to have this kind of pressure, and Stewart shows him the wheel.
He was
side
nice.
by side.
He was nice there. Chad ran him up to the tough blocks there, but he was awfully nice going into that turn.
He could have parked him, but Stewart is picking his spots, trying different lines. Now shades a little bit further to the left of the whoops. You see the back end dancing on that Yamaha. That's what the difference is now. Late in this race, they're starting to push it. Whatever line you're in, you just got to turn that throttle wide open and go for it.
And you can see when they turn the throttle wide open before the whoops, it's like a road racer. They're painting the pavement out there. I mean, these guys are lighting that rear tire up, and they're going for it because we only got a few more laps to go here in this main event.
Jim, that's that blue groove you referred to. They're actually laying rubber down on the dirt. They're on the gas so hard. And watch Stewart here as he tries to triple up. Reed knows it. He can't block down. Reed goes down.
To the side. He crossed. When he hit the tough block, he caught it with a foot peg and went off to the side. Now he's frantically trying to get the Suzuki started. He's got to put that Suzuki into neutral right now, or he's going to have a hard time firing it. That's the key to the 4-strokes there. As you see, he tried to bump it a little bit. He's got the kickstart out. He's trying to kick it, but here's James Stewart. He just was handed a gift.
Absolutely, and Stewart put that pressure on. Don't call the guy lucky. Call him good. In Vegas, Lady Luck shines on you sometimes, but he earned that one. He kept the heat on Reed, and it finally cracked the Supercross champ.
Yeah, Chad finally got it fired. Now he's going to battle with his teammate Dungey as they go to that inside in turn number 1. Andrew Short made the pass while Chad Reed was trying to restart that Suzuki.
Yeah, so Short on the Honda on the number 29 is up into the number 2 spot. When Reed knocked that tough block onto the other lane, Dungey actually hit that, so both of the Suzuki riders hit the deck. And how about James Stewart? His debut ride on the San Manuel Yamaha, and he's going to go 1-1 if he can just hold on for a few more laps. Jim, let's go back and look at what happened to Chad Reed.
Well, that's that section that James Stewart is tripling. Chad Reed doubles and then he triples again. He started on the far right-hand side. He clipped the tough block, and it sent him clear across the other side of the track where he landed on the Rockstar tough block, ironically, and went down.
And that's it, James Stewart rolling now, and the heat is off. He has shown, even though he has made so many changes to his program for 2009, that he is going to be ready when that championship tour opens up. This guy is ready to go. He's mentally fit, he's physically fit, and obviously this new bike is working for him.
Well, you can see right there that he's backed it down. That section where Chad Reed crashed down, he went double-double through that section. He's not going to pull the trigger. Watch when he comes out of this turn. He's not lighting the rear tire up before because he's not chasing Chad Reed. He's got a big lead right now.
That's one of the things that makes James Stewart dangerous. He's always been fast, and he has learned a lot about going fast only when he needs to. And that's a dangerous combination for the rest of these guys. He used to be the one that threw away race victories. This time, he put the heat on someone else. And Chad Reed, It's just been a rough weekend for that guy, but you know that's just going to add fuel to the fire. January 3rd, he comes back for the opener in Anaheim.
Yeah, one more lap to go for James Stewart here in the MGM Grand Garden. He's going to collect $100,000 along with the Super Bowl tonight. He got $10,000. Last night he got the Super Bowl, the whole shot, plus won the main event. He's going to come away with a total of $160,000 here in the MGM Grand Garden.
What do you think? He's been pretty lucky this weekend. Should he press it? Should he just go double that for blackjack?
I would.
Tuck it in your back pocket. He's going to save his luck for the Supercross series when it starts in January. But I'll tell you what, lucky or good, whatever you want to call it, James Stewart has got this thing wrapped up. And he has made a statement here. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the record book. It's about the mental advantage he has gained over this field. James Stewart, is he the best in the world? He's definitely staking his claim to that right now. Here he comes toward the finish line. And it's history, folks. James Stewart wins the 2008 Rockstar Energy Drink U.S. Open.
If it wasn't for that tough block, I think we would have saw a lot of handlebar to handlebar action because James Stewart was going to have to force that issue with Chad Reed. We saw it earlier in the race, but Chad Reed has nothing to be ashamed of.
There you see Dungy, a bad start, a crash. He still finishes fourth. He dug down deep for that. You see Tedesco and Michael Byrne coming through there. Chad Reed, though, like you said, Jim, he can hold his head high. He gave James Stewart everything he had, but James Stewart, he's going to party big time tonight in Las Vegas.
He's definitely happy. You know, he made that transition over to the new Yamaha ride. You know, like you mentioned before, the San Manuel L&M Racing Yamaha. But you know what? Chad Reed rode a great race tonight. Just that one little mistake of catching that tough block as Dungy comes over and pats him on the back and says, hey, good job.
And James Stewart, he told us last night he was going to get to bed early. He wanted to rest up for what he expected to be a war tonight, and that's exactly what happened. It paid off. I don't think he's going to bed early tonight, though. He's pumped. And how about that San Manuel outfit? They made a good choice. They picked up who the man they think is the best in the business, and it paid off with a victory in one of the biggest stages in this sport.
Well, you see Larry Brooks there patting him on the shoulder saying, you know what, we made the right decision on the settings on the motorcycle, and you know what, they're going to go back to work. You know, I'm sure there's things they want to change on the Yamaha and test. You got to remember, he's only been on that bike about 4 times prior to coming here to Las Vegas.
All right, it's official, the MMI move of the night. Of course, it goes to James Stewart. Take us through it, Jim.
You know, I think it has to be that triple section. He was the only rider here tonight doing that, and I think it paid off because Chad Reed in the beginning of the race had a big lead. James closed that up, and I believe that's where he made all his time up.
We'll be back after this to talk to our winners.